Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I am joined by Oscar Meerman, who is an incredible Vedic meditation teacher and a teacher and mentor to teachers that I'm greatly inspired by. So it really is the coolest thing to be able to have this conversation with you, so welcome.
Well, thank you for, I was going to say thank you for having me, but...
Yeah, we're at your house.
We're at my house.
That's amazing.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. I have so many questions and I'm really excited to explore meditation or the world of meditation through your lens.
Great.
So to begin, I'd love for you to describe your personal relationship to meditation and maybe how that's evolved over time.
Yeah, so I first started meditating, I was about 22, I think it was. I was living in the top end of Australia, small mining town, and I only had a couple of good friends, and some stuff happened between us, started having some negative feelings towards them. So I found myself in this small little container, didn't really know many people. The people I did know, I had these was a bit angry, had some negative thoughts and feelings. And I just intuitively knew that I had to do something about it.
Yeah.
And the thing that made sense for me to do was to go to the beach at sunrise the next morning and to sit down and close my eyes and do whatever I thought meditation was, which was just to really sit with the feelings and to let them be there. And since that day, this kind of act of closing my eyes and I'm going to use the word to alchemize my internal experience, to transform it, to come into deeper relationship with it. It's always been in my life to some degree. And, it was, as we usually do when we don't have any formal education in something, we kind of try a bunch of different stuff and, we intuitively do things and it looks pretty funny for the first little while. So I kind of did that, intuitive meditation for a few years where I was just sitting down and just being in my internal world. And it would always provide some kind of grounding, some regulation for my nervous system. And I was finding I was always coming back to it.
Yeah.
And then one day I found a proper teacher in Laura Poole, and she taught me Vedic meditation. I believe she taught you as well.
Me as well, yes.
Yeah, she's good like that.
Yes, she is.
and then, it really just kicked off. That was, maybe it was 8 years ago. I'm actually not sure.
Yeah.
And just really kicked off. With the Vedic meditation framework, it provided that solid foundation of meditation lineage and technique that I could really just fall into with trust and go very deep into the practice. And with correct instruction, the meditation practice really evolved from there.
That's amazing.
And I found very quickly, so the prescription for Vedic meditation is 20 minutes twice a day. So even with just that, very quickly I found my consciousness was expanding. I was becoming less reactive, more playful in life. The things that used to limit me weren't limiting me as much. I was just having more and more energy, less and less stress, which meant that I was doing more, but I wasn't getting tired.
Yeah.
And so since that day, meditation has just been this rock, this pillar to my day-to-day life. I've kept it consistent. Little, periods of research here and there where what's it like if we don't meditate for a while? And then the results of that research
inquiry
is...
as well.
Yeah, I think it's important for a teacher to do it as well. And always coming back to it.
Yeah.
And over the time, the relationship with it has evolved into really just my relationship with myself.
Yeah.
And meditation is this, this formal time to really evolve my relationship with myself, to come into deeper relationship with that and the world around me as well.
Yeah. Amazing.
And over time that, let's say what you would define as yourself and the world around you starts to, bleed together. The lines start to blur and
it's an incredible function of meditation, how that happens. And so, beautiful answer. It definitely sets the context for where we're going to go. And you spoke to something already that I want to double tap. And there's this big premise, I guess, in meditation that it's based on the fact that our internal or the external world is nothing but a reflection of our internal world. And so, you know, in meditation, we turn inwards to cultivate this inner space to hopefully find more ease, more harmony, less friction, less resistance, all the things you were talking about that you originally encountered in the outer world. But for many people, it feels the other way around. It feels like the outer world determines how I feel inside.
Yeah.
And so how do you
It's a really good point.
speak to this, and how do you share this, and how do you perhaps help people shift the perspective?
So the main way is as a meditation teacher, the main way is to simply empower them to practice regularly. Yeah. And that would be the main way. Because, you know, it's the answer is within what you just said, you know, like how do we shift someone from being less externally referenced to more internally referenced? Well, you just have to keep directing them in to being internally referenced.
Yes.
And so for everyone listening to this, you know, the line from the Bible, the kingdom of heaven is within, you know?
Yes.
All the answers are within. And so if you want to be more internally referenced, then you have to start exercising that. You have to start looking in. And it is a process to, number one, look in the first place and break that habit of looking outside. And then to learn to trust and act on what you're perceiving. And it's this huge feedback loop. And so, as a teacher, the main thing is to just empower people to meditate. And, you know, it doesn't have to be within the style that we practice, could be a different style, but some kind of practice to start looking in. And then from that place, it's a real playful, artful dynamism to, you know, help people along that process that I just mentioned of trusting what it is that you're perceiving deep inside. And through that process, it can lead you down, you know, many different modalities like the psychotherapy route. You know, you can start to uncover some stuff that needs to be addressed.
Otherwise just sits there beneath the surface.
But that primary and fundamental mechanism is looking in and starting to cultivate this deep inner sense of knowing yourself on an experiential level.
So it's direct experience. It's
Direct
the only
experience,
way.
yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel like at the very heart of any meditation teaching, yoga teaching, spiritual teaching really, is the idea that you are whole and complete as you are in this moment. And from that perspective, it's like no amount of meditation is going to change that, you know? But the idea almost, like my understanding is you as awareness, you don't need to meditate, but the mind does, the nervous system does, the body does. When people hear the idea of, you know, you're whole and complete, it sounds nice, and maybe deep down it strikes something that feels true, but so much of the world we live in doesn't give evidence that confirms this idea, right?
Definitely not.
So how do you, how do you feel meditation communicates this, reveals this? How do you share this? If someone's listening and they're like, I don't feel that, you know?
So first of all, you know, I'm pretty reserved with putting that statement out there because it, you know, hey, you're perfect, you're, you know, whole and complete. It's not most people's reality. And a lot of the time it can put people off. It can be bewildering. You know, it's like, hey, you say that I'm whole and complete. Well, how come my entire worldview doesn't fit that?
Confirm that.
It can cause the opposite effect in people. It can create a spark, and like you said, there's that deep knowing, and there's that thing with knowledge that when a statement is really, when a piece of knowledge is really potent, it causes what we call the unstressing to take place, which is the mind to kick into gear. And you know, so when leading someone down this process to realize that, it's You know, it often gets taught that you are not your mind.
Yes.
You know, you are not your trauma, you are not your stress, your story. You are this deep, de-excited field. I prefer the language, you're more than that. You know, you're more than your mind, you're more than your story. Because it allows space for that stuff to be there.
Yes.
And it doesn't create the conflict.
Yeah, you're not denying what they feel is real.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the path to really embodying that, we can really simplify it. It's the same as before. You need some kind of practice that's going to put you into direct contact with that.
Yes.
And then you also need to reconcile everything that is at odds with it.
Yes.
So everything that's saying, I'm not whole and complete.
Yeah.
You know?
What gets in the way?
You know, I'm just little old me with all these problems.
Yeah.
All of that needs to be reconciled. If we're trying to reconcile it and we haven't, to a sufficient degree, stabilized an inner experience of knowing, an inner experience of being inside, it's going to be very difficult. And through that process of reconciliation, you can start to uncover more of that inner peace, inner being. But yeah, again, if you combine it with that practice of meditation, so much more powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, that would be the process.
Amazing. And you're using the word unstressing, and you know, it's a big part of obviously Vedic meditation.
Yeah.
And I know meditation is spoken about as a destruction operator.
Yes.
And so I'd love to hear you speak about how meditation does play this unavoidably important role of stress release, especially in the modern world.
Yeah. So use the word destruction operator there. So maybe just to clarify the terminology.
Please.
There's the three laws of nature.
Yeah.
The three overarching laws of nature of creation, maintenance, and destruction. In the Vedic worldview, they tend not to use duality, but they use three. And you know, that trinity is present in many cultures as well. So creation, maintenance, and destruction. These are three intrinsically linked forces. They're always going on. Within any one of them is the other two. They're not separate.
Yeah.
But then there can be a dominant expression. So a destruction operator, you know, you could look at the bushfires that we had recently as a big destruction operator.
Yeah.
But within that, there's a lot of creation. I drove through the Otways that were just recently burned, and you know, driving through that area, you know, you've got the blackened trunks, but then off it is just this bright green growth.
Yes.
That otherwise wouldn't be there if it wasn't for all of that destruction.
Totally.
So destruction, creation, and maintenance are always interplaying with one another.
Yeah.
And so this you know, meditation practice, it you know, I haven't really heard it called a destruction operator before.
Yeah.
It seems very harsh.
It does. It sounds a little evil or
like,
something.
ooh.
Yeah.
So the paradox of meditation is we're not adding anything.
Yeah.
It's a letting go practice.
Yeah.
And you know, you talked, you know, you brought up the point before that we're all whole and complete deep down.
Yeah.
So what's obscuring that? Well, it's all the stuff that we're holding on to that is at odds with that deep, true nature that we are. And so meditation is that practice of letting go of that.
Yes.
Letting go of all of that stuff that obscures that deeper truth,
Yes.
that deeper expression of who you are.
Yes.
And it's this, you know, hilarious thing, right? Like, you know, I'm holding a cup and you say, put it down. All right, no problem. And I just put it down.
Yep.
Easy. But then, hey, this idea of who you are that's actually creating a lot of problems in your life and limiting you, put that down.
Yeah.
You're like, all right,
Not so simple.
well, I can maybe be aware that it's there, but how do I put it down?
Totally.
I don't have that muscle. I don't have that mechanism.
Yeah.
We you know, we go through school, we learn maths, we learn science, we learn English. We don't learn how to let go.
Yeah.
You know, this training isn't readily accessible for us as a general population.
Yeah.
And so Vedic meditation teaches you how to let go.
Yeah.
And it is, I mentioned before the paradox. It's easier to let go than it is to hold on.
Yeah.
But it is so hard to let go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is. It sounds easy.
Yeah.
But in practice, it's the hardest thing in the world. Even if you do let go, there's more beneath that, beneath that, beneath that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, that would be Vedic meditation as a destruction operator, where we're, maybe instead of the word destruction, it's a dissolution. Or a dissolving.
Yeah.
Dissolution of the old structures of the mind that were keeping us contained in a certain shape.
Yes.
And we dissolve those structures to allow more spaciousness in the mind, to allow more life experience in, to allow more creativity to flow.
Yes. And this happens through unstressing.
And unstressing, yes. So, thank you.
Of course.
So, the unstressing is the word that we use for the symptoms of that process taking place.
Yeah, beautiful.
So, as we dissolve these old structures in the mind, whether that be a limiting belief about ourselves or, even, a big chunk of trauma that we have lodged in our nervous system, or even just a bit of fatigue, or something like this. When it gets released from our nervous system and that energy gets liberated, oftentimes we re-experience whatever that energy is. And we might experience it in the form of a memory.
Yeah.
We might experience it in the form of a body sensation, like heat in the body, or a quickened heart rate. We might experience, sneezing, coughing, like more gross things like that. Yeah. Or we may start to experience mental activity, certain thought patterns coming with an associated feeling or emotion. Yeah. And, you could be sitting there on your cushion experiencing this when you meditate. It could happen just randomly throughout your day. Yeah. And in the beginning, it can be bewildering. Yeah. And you can, take the perspective of, hey, I'm doing all this meditation. What the hell's going on? Why am I so stressed? Yeah. Well, it's not that you're stressed, it's that you're releasing stress from the nervous system. But how we relate to that is really important, because it's easy to turn unstressing into re-stressing. Right. And this is what I talked about before of, how do we really step into that fullness of ourselves? Yeah. It's that, yes, have your regular meditation practice, but then that artfulness of the eyes open life. Yes. And so when you experience your unstressing, the artfulness there is to allow it to be there and let it go, just as you learned how to do in your meditation practice. Yeah. Right? How do I not re-grab on to this mind story that's going, this body sensation? How can I just let it be in my nervous system and allow it to move freely in the way that it wants to? Yes. Without it needing to dominate how I'm behaving and how I'm showing up right now. Yes. And without it needing to obscure my sense of who and what I am in that moment as well. Yes.
I love that we started there. Helps bring the point back each time. And you mentioned thoughts, and they do tend to dominate our experience. And most of us know that thoughts themselves don't hold any power. We give them power when we resist them or follow them or believe them or identify with them. But, what are thoughts? Where do they come from? Why are they so all-consuming?
Oof, big questions. Wow. What are thoughts? Where do they come from? Yeah. So, it's a great question. I reckon if you asked 100 different people, you get 100 different answers.
Totally. That's the idea with the podcast. It's very fun.
Yeah. That's great. I don't think anyone's ever asked me.
Really?
What are thoughts and where do they come from? So, thoughts come from that place deep inside of us that is, we refer to it as being. And being, perhaps unhelpfully in this analogy, we often refer to as your mind without thoughts.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Hang on, yeah.
So being is unmanifest mind. In quantum physics, they would call it the unified field.
Yeah.
It is everything. It is the universe unmanifest.
Like awareness in its purest state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pure awareness, which hasn't been disturbed,
Yeah.
hasn't been shaped yet.
Yeah.
If you use the ocean as an analogy, it would just be pure flat ocean.
Yeah.
And then thoughts are the stimulation of that. What is the mechanism of that stimulation of flatness? It is desire. It is this universal quality using the instrumentality of your individuality
Yes.
to play the music of evolution through the song of desire.
Ooh, wow.
That's a corny way to put it.
It's a beautiful way to
So-
put it. I love it.
This universal flatness gets stimulated by this desire. What's desire for? The evolution of all things.
Yeah.
Right? The most relevant use of your specific individuality in that moment for the evolution of everything.
Yeah. For experience to happen.
Yep. For experience to happen with the flavor of creation
Yes.
as dominance.
Incredible.
Yep. And the thought begins as maybe something that we wouldn't necessarily
So
call a
cute.
thought. It would
Yeah.
be a fine level of feeling,
Yeah.
okay? And that's how we generally refer to it, this fine level of feeling. You might use the word intuition. And if our nervous system is very stressed out, we won't be able to detect that.
Yeah.
Then that fine level of feeling is going to, this thought is going to start to become more and more manifest in our physiology, in our nervous
Yes.
system. And it turns from a fine level of feeling into a slightly more gross level of feeling, into maybe an emotion,
Yeah.
and then into maybe an abstract thought, maybe something that we can visualize,
Yeah.
maybe like a bit of a scene that kind of doesn't make any sense, but it has some intelligence to it. And then it keeps refining itself to the ultimate manifest expression of thought, which would be linear and sequential thought.
Yeah.
Now, when we say thought in our culture, that's what we usually
Think of.
exactly,
Yeah.
because that's all we're aware of,
Yeah.
or perhaps maybe not all we're aware of, but the dominant experience in our mind is this linear sequential thought.
Like the waves on the top of the ocean in the
Exactly.
linear sequence.
Yeah, so exactly, to come back to that ocean analogy, it would
Yeah.
be not just the waves on the top of the ocean, but just the very crest of the wave that's kind of constantly falling apart and in commotion.
Yeah. That seems separate to all the other waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what thoughts are. They
Yeah.
are your most deep intelligence, which is connected to your universal nature, mobilizing your individuality from a very fine level to a very gross linear sequential level
Yeah.
for the purpose of creation, desire, experience.
I knew you'd have a great answer. I knew there was something good
When you
there.
first asked me, I was like, shit,
What am
do I
gonna
know this one?
say? Yeah, you do. I knew you would. Another big question.
Sure.
What is the mind? We know it's not the brain. We know it's not limited to the skull. We know it can descend into the body. It can expand beyond the body. It can slide back in time, jump forwards in time, spin in fantasy. What is the mind?
Again, yeah, you'd get a lot of different answers.
Yeah.
For me, the way that I look at it is the mind is reality. It is the universe. It's everything. You know, we perhaps to understand that, we need to understand that there are as many versions of reality as there are perspectives to perceive it. And yeah. And this is something that they're working with in quantum physics as well. You know, the observer creates the universe.
Yes.
And so then your mind is the universe.
Yeah. Meaning awareness is primary. Yeah.
Yeah. So the mind, we could say, is this localized expression of a universal phenomena of the universe being aware of itself. And the way that I look at, all of this Vedic knowledge and when I teach it, I try and really bring it back to a human perspective.
Yes.
And so what is the mind? The mind is your reality.
Yeah.
It's what you're aware of. It is how you're perceiving the world.
Yeah. Beautiful. And this, you spoke to it before, the Trinity, like the Vedic worldview sees things in like three things need to exist for experience to happen. And so there's like a threefold structure where we have the knower, what is known, and the process of knowing.
Okay, yeah.
And so, I mean, I speak to this only because I think it's actually really helpful in understanding the role that meditation plays. Because the knower is the one who's aware, you have awareness. The known is the outer experience, what's playing out. And then the process of knowing is where meditation works its magic, because so much of what the mind perceives, well, most of the time it misperceives and it tells things that aren't quite true.
Yeah.
And so I feel when we sit in meditation, we're connecting with that inner awareness, but we're refining the process of knowing something so we can actually have a deeper understanding. Does that feel to you like what meditation is sort of creating inside our experience, or what it's refining?
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, this knower, knowing, known. The Sanskrit words for that, Rishi, Devata, and Chandas.
Yes.
And in the beginnings of our meditation journey, or indeed our journey of uncovering more of our consciousness, we are in object consciousness, or the known consciousness. There's knower, knowing, and then object, or known, as you said. And so we're often in object consciousness, as you said in the beginning, externally referenced.
Yes.
And so it's another way of looking at what we've been saying, that meditation turns it around. Yeah. And we start to look inwards. And that process of meditation starts to go into the mind and looking into those deeper layers. To start to know the knower. And then through the process of kind of wrapping back onto itself, you start to get this appreciation of the knowing process. And by the way, there's levels to this. As you know, I can see the twinkle in your eyes, so you can go.
You can take it any direction you like.
You can be aware of yourself, being aware of an object, like that cushion over there. But then in that moment, if I'm aware of myself, being aware of that object, then there is another layer of knowing, because I'm knowing that process, and another layer of object, because that process is the object, and then another layer of knower, because I'm aware of myself.
Right.
And so what starts to happen is these layers of expanding awareness start to happen, and then we could go another layer. And the whole thing just keeps expanding in a very dynamic, non-linear, abstract process. And every now and then we kind of have a big pop, and the whole thing comes into view, into a really revolutionary degree, right? And then there's a contraction again, and then there's the expansion and the contraction. And so it's just this process of expansion and contraction, being aware of being stuck in object consciousness, then spontaneously expanding into being aware of more than that, into being aware of awareness itself, being aware of yourself, and then contracting again. And this expansion contraction is, as I said, it's dynamic, it's non-linear, it's abstract, but all the while it's in the direction of more and more expansion. And so after a year, 2 years, 3 years, your awareness is huge compared to what it was. And so what? This affords us space in our mind, space in our body, our nervous system, to not be reactive to the stuff when it comes up. It affords us space to detect that fine level of feeling, which is, by the way, I didn't say it before, it's a more accurate way to relate with your desires and your thoughts than simply operating on the surface level.
Yeah.
It creates space for more creation or
Yeah.
destruction or maintenance, right? Discerning that correct path in any one action.
Yes.
Creates more space for enjoyment.
Yeah.
You can love more deeply.
Yes.
All of that stuff.
It restores the possibility of choice in a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also affords you a really great framework to geek out on.
Yeah, it totally does.
Yeah, I know some people who like
It's
love
incredible.
this stuff.
Totally. It's so interesting. It's so interesting. And I guess, like you said, to bring it back to just like a level where we can create understanding.
Yeah.
Why is connection to subtlety so important? Because so much of what we're speaking about is we're talking beneath, you know, the level of the senses.
Mm-hmm.
And so much of meditation is cultivating this relationship to things that are more subtle.
Yeah. Yeah, really, really great question. So the analogy that I like for subtlety and grossness and why would we want to, why would we want to detect subtlety and interact with ourself on the subtle level as opposed to the gross? It's imagine you're on a golf course and you're on the driving range and you're holding a golf club, and then you step up to the tee and you progress to hold your club right at the base of it, at the head. So you've got no space between the head and your hands.
Yeah.
You've got all of this handle poking out the back. You try and hit a hole in one, impossible. To get that ball into the hole, it's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult. Then you start to meditate. You start to clear out the junk in the nervous system, clear out the noise. You start to spend time marinating in that deeper, de-excited place in your mind, and so you start to stabilize these subtler states of awareness. As subtlety starts to establish itself in your nervous system, the analogy there would be like sliding your hands down the handle of the golf club. Yeah. And if we're able to perceive and trust these more subtle intuitions, these more subtle thoughts that we're having, it would be like holding that club right at the end. Yeah. And so you step up to the exact same situation, you hit it, and you can get a hole in one. Yeah. And this would be effortless action. Yes. And so Maharishi Mahesh Yogi has this, famous line, and he would say, before meditating, you do a lot and you accomplish a little bit. Mm-hmm. As you start to meditate, you do less and you accomplish more. Yes. Eventually, do nothing, accomplish everything. Right? Yeah. And this is the process that's happening here as we're learning to interact with ourselves on the subtle and bring that subtle impulse of creative intelligence, right? What we said before, thoughts are desires that are trying to mobilize us. So when we can interact with that thought at its inception, at its most subtle, we do a little bit and we accomplish a lot. It's holding the handle at the very end rather than the very top. Yeah, that's a beautiful analogy. And I love those quotes by Maharishi. It's so good. I have 2 more questions for you. Please. Yeah. Consistency. Why is consistency so important? What's the difference between meditating sometimes and then making a real ritual or habit or daily practice out of it? Yeah, so this is a letting go practice we said before. You get onto your cushion and use a specific technique and you just let it all hang out. You just open all the taps, you let it go. In order for that to happen, you need some kind of container. Yeah. And if we apply that same openness to actually parking our butt on the cushion, it won't work. We can't have fully open in a fully open environment. We need some boundaries to create a container. And so consistency is really, really powerful. We could say that the discipline to sit down would be the masculine. Yeah. And then that effortlessness on the cushion would be the feminine. Yeah. And we need both present in order to amplify both. And so consistency is really important because, you're going to go through all sorts in your journey. Like everyone knows this, right? Totally. If we're trying to be consistent in anything, we're going to bump up against roadblocks. Yeah. So having that making that meditation practice that non-negotiable part of your day where you just sit down is really powerful.
Yeah.
Now, in order to get to that consistency, we do need to understand correct technique.
Yeah.
Common things that will stop people would be, I'm too stressed to meditate.
Yes. Huge.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to meditate.
Yeah.
It's not working.
I don't have enough time.
I
to
don't have
meditate.
enough time, right? All of these, I don't have the right environment. All I have is this construction site available to me. All of these things are no barrier to meditation if we understand correct technique.
Yeah.
And so there is an artfulness in developing consistency.
Yes.
I think the most important thing if you want to be consistent is to have someone who you can communicate with, like a teacher or a community or a friend who's already on the path.
Yes.
And communicate with them whatever obstacle is coming up.
Yeah.
Don't try and be consistent on your own.
On your own.
Yeah. Have an accountability buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, once that consistency is established and is there, it just the
Can't
magic
justify
happens.
not doing it at a certain point.
Yeah, we are adaptation machines.
Yes.
We adapt to anything that we're doing.
Yeah.
And anything that we're not doing, we adapt away from. If we were to spend all our time sitting on this couch, we'd get really good at sitting on a couch, and we'd actually get worse at walking around, right? This is what happens to people who, spend all their time sitting at desk
That's
jobs,
true. Yeah.
You got to kind of pay that adaptation price. And, this phenomena is really obvious in the, like the physical training world, right? You go to the gym, you lift some weights, you do it consistently, and you get the muscles.
Yes.
Right? Same thing in meditation. It's just not as obvious.
Yes.
If you spend, if every day you just kind of marinate yourself in this deep, de-excited place, you change. Your physical body changes. First, it's your mind, your consciousness.
Yeah.
Right? It de-excites. And then the subtle hardware of your body, like your neurons start to change.
Yes.
Your hormones, right? Like the pH levels in your blood, in your body.
Yeah.
And then the bigger stuff starts to change.
Yes.
Right? Your whole facial structure changes. I ran a retreat in November, 1 week in India. And I meant to do a before and after, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't, just like a selfie
photo?
of everyone's face.
Oh, wow.
To watch their facial structure change of that week was incredible.
Over a week.
Yeah, a week.
Gosh.
Yeah.
It's incredible because it's subtle, but then it actually has physiological, biological change.
Yeah, expresses forth.
Yeah.
And so consistency allows that process to happen.
Yes.
And it allows the practice to be integrated into your life as well.
Yes.
And there's this interesting play on this word discipline. Where does discipline come from? It comes from the word disciple. Disciple is somebody who is devoted to the teaching, the practice. And so we can bring some of that into our discipline. Discipline doesn't have to just be the
harsh.
The harsh, Like really connect with why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Connect with the why.
It turns discipline into devotion in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so and again, it's the art form. The artfulness of just the art of living.
Yeah, and I love that you shared that it takes effort at the beginning. Like there is an accountability to do so, whether it's to yourself or with somebody who's going to make it a lot easier to walk the path.
Yeah.
Okay. Big question to finish, but take it how you like. You spoke to it before, and I really feel it's at the heart of everything. Love. Like, what is love? And, how does meditation for you perhaps connect you to that experience or keep you coming back and remembering?
So we could say that love is you experiencing yourself in another.
Really beautiful.
It's the experience of two experiencing themselves as one. And so this phenomena of love is all around us, right? It happens inside of us. We can have moments where we learn to love ourselves and we have experiences of loving some aspect inside of us. Then our individuality can love another individuality.
Yeah.
And what's happening here? It's consciousness remembering that it's one.
Yeah.
Right? it's, you said before the wholeness, you are whole. It's a good word here. It's the unique shape of one individuality and the unique shape of another individuality fitting together and making one thing that is perceivably whole.
There's no more separation.
Yeah. And that's like the kind of the clinical way to look at it, but then the human experience of that is love.
Yeah.
And, love is the highest experience that we can have. Why?
Yeah.
Why is love the highest experience that we can have? Because that's all that nature is trying to do.
Yeah.
If you look at what's going on in nature as a big overarching picture and also look into the microcosm, nature's just trying to remember itself.
Yeah.
It's coming back into that oneness. The waves on the ocean. We start as flat ocean, a wave emerges, it lives its wave life, and then it comes back into ocean.
It's like creation and maintains for a little while and it comes back down.
Yeah, it's that.
There's three laws of nature we spoke
yeah.
about.
Creation, maintenance, and destruction.
Yeah.
So it's a really great lens to view everything through. Yeah. And so love is like the maha experience of life. Maha in Sanskrit means great.
Yeah.
Love is the ultimate.
Yeah.
Love is our compass, our orientator.
Yes.
And that mechanism that we talked about of perceiving your desires on their subtle level, that is just taking you towards love. And if you look at anything you do in life and grill yourself with the questions. I call this the toddler test. Toddlers will be like in the back of the car, they'll be like,
True.
they'll be like, Mom, why are trees brown? You give the answer like, why?
Why?
And you're like, whoa. And they're like, why?
Yeah.
Very quickly they get to some real truths. Why do you do anything? If you do the toddler test and you just keep asking why, it's going to come down to some base desire to have an experience of love, be safe, right? Avoid things that we're fearful of.
Yeah.
But if we keep going, love's at the bottom of everything.
You arrive back at love. It's really beautiful.
Arrive back at love. There you go. Good tagline.
Nice.
Yeah.
Incredible. Thank you so much for all of your insightful answers, and they just come so naturally to you. It's amazing. I knew there wasn't a question I couldn't ask. But if someone wants to work with you or join you on a retreat, what do you have coming up, or how to go about that?
Yeah, so best place to find me would be on Instagram.
Yeah.
Until I get my website up and running.
Cool, it's coming.
It's coming.
Great.
But yeah, Instagram's the best place. From there you can connect and you can see everything that's going on. I do a Learn to Meditate course every month.
Amazing.
I do a grounding day, which is the practice that we do on retreat. So we do a morning of more intense, more immersive practice once a month. We do a bigger one every 3 months, where it might be a whole day instead of just a morning.
Incredible.
I do a weekly group meditation that's free every Monday nights. So once you learn to meditate, that's free for life. That's really great. We meditate and we engage in Q&A, kind of like this.
Yeah, it's the best offering.
Exactly like this.
Yeah, that's why you're so ready to go.
And then I'm trying to do a retreat every year. So I'm looking at setting something up in Far North Queensland at the end of the year.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. There's heaps.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It's great. And so there should be. I think you're an incredible teacher to learn from. So I think it's such a gift that you make yourself available in that way.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ash.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Boom.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.